Hi there, my name is Lawrence Mitchell and I'm founder of Life Without Labels, and I'm here today in Idyllwild in the studio of Jan Bruner.
Yes.
And she is a doctor in psychology, but for the last 4 years she's also been taking art in a big way, and this is some of the many paintings that she has painted. And at the moment she's looking at putting expression into this painting here. But she was just talking a moment ago about abuse and children.
Yes.
So now we're going to just hear what she has to say.
Okay. During the time that I was working with patients that had been either sexually or physically abused, when they were abused at an early age, they were so overwhelmed by the experience, they never managed to develop a language to understand it. Psychologically, they were using all of their mechanisms to cope with that experience. So when they would come into my office, they wouldn't be able to talk about it. And the first place we would start usually was with, I'd just throw a tablet of paper on the floor, grab some colors and crayons, and we would sit down on the floor and just start either working with color, according to what they were feeling. They would pick a color that fit with what their experience was. And then they would put a name to it and would be able to start developing a conversation about what happened. But we would work with either line, it might be a jagged line to experience the emotional, to describe the emotional experience of their abuse, or whatever came out of their psyche. But with that we developed a language, and with that they managed to begin to distance, to be able to understand it and get it a little further away from their internal being and being overwhelmed by it all of the time. Do you have any other questions?
Okay, well, this is very, very good because I think with any type of abuse or anything that involves the mind, where there are issues or challenges, it sounds like once you get it visually out in front of you, then you can you can stretch things, you can make things happen, because it takes focus away from the issue but into something else. It creates a diversion.
It takes it away from the overwhelming feeling of the experience that's been running their lives, and it allows them more of a distance so they can literally see on paper. It's no longer completely trapped in here. It's also out there. And then we could describe more clearly what happened to them. And it was traumatizing at first to go in and start re-experiencing those feelings, but it was also cathartic.
Do you still work with
I'm afraid I don't, not any longer. I'm sticking with painting, and now it's because for me, instead of working with one individual person and wanting to talk about what their experiences are, I'm tending to want to talk more about a more global experience and doing it visually. So there's a painting here I'll show you. This is part of the forgotten people down in Tijuana, Ensenada, and Rosarito Beach.
Like a part
in Baja California.
Okay.
And if you'll notice, this man works on the street, and there's only 2 other people on the street in this picture, but these are the people who are forgotten by the media and the rest of the population, and it's about what's happening to their lives as the drug lords are constantly in warfare down there, and people are no longer going down. You should see a street full of people here and not be able to move. But because of the drug wars, nobody's going down. So this man can no longer support his family.
Okay.
And so my issue with expressing and talking about the world now comes through a series of paintings like this.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Jan.
You're very welcome.